Before we proceed, the psychological order, which is a manifestation of Ishvara. Understand, manifestation means the presence of Ishvara being there in the order. And therefore, in your emotion of fear, Ishvara's presence is there. It's very big, it is. People want a special mind to think of God. When you think of an object, a tree, no other object is in your mind. When you think of a fruit, apple, no other object is in your mind. When you think of your father, no other object is in your mind. When you think of God, no other object is in your mind. When you think of pumpkin, God is replaced. You know. Therefore, God becomes another pumpkin, correct? Another person, replaceable. Then we say God is all pervasive. You must be a special person to say that. You know who is a special person? Who needs a specialist is a special person. Really. We reduce God to an entity, an object, bound by time and space and by its own objectivity, by its own nature. It becomes one of the many things in the world. And then we will say he is all pervasive, etc. It is very unfortunate. The most important thing in our life is the most misunderstood thing. Every whiff of emotion is not away from Ishvara. In that whiff of emotion also is Ishvara present. So that means within the psychological order of Ishvara, which also is Ishvara. Ishvara is everything. The psychological order is a manifestation of Ishvara. Therefore, the Sambandha, we have to recognize there is a connection between what happened to one and what one experiences one emotionally. Therefore, anger, for instance, is an expression of pain inside stored. In our culture, we recognize this. Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha. First, it is in the form of unfulfilled desire, which is called pain. When you want something to happen, if it doesn't happen, it leaves you in pain. As a child, this pain is stored in the unconscious, it is covered. It is there, but covered. But then it begins to control the whole person. This kind of pain that is there, and more often than not, it comes out in the form of anger, hatred, etc. Here there is anger, let us say. This anger is a manifestation of inner pain. Even though to trigger that anger to happen, you require somebody else outside. That somebody else happens to be your mother or your child or somebody, whoever, and this is the triggering person. That person cannot cause anger to you. Nobody can cause anger to you. Nobody. Nobody has that capacity to cause anger to you. You can deal with that person objectively. If you find that person is unreasonable, you can say you are unreasonable. And you can be reasonable. And we can draw boundaries for ourselves and for others. Remember the word boundary. Lakshman Rekha. You draw boundaries for yourself, you draw boundaries for others. That is intelligent, objective living. If somebody is causing you anger, remember it has nothing to do with somebody. Somebody is only pressing the button. You are vulnerable. You have your erroneous zone. Somebody wrote a book, Your Erroneous Zone. It's a good book. And your erroneous zone, in the sense your vulnerability. Everyone is vulnerable in some areas. And therefore, anger happens because there is inner pain. We should recognize the external world is not responsible for my anger totally. External world gives a helping hand. But it doesn't have the capacity to cause anger in you. When I say this anger is an emotional born out of your own pain. It is pain that manifests in the form of anger. In our culture, it is recognized kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha. It is now in the form of unfulfilled desire. First in the form of desire, turns into pain because it was not fulfilled. And therefore, this unfulfilled desire becomes anger now. Kama yeshaha, krodha yeshaha. Therefore, krodha is only a cloak of pain, another modification of pain. That is why after those acting out this anger, acting under the spell of anger, one becomes sad. In anger, one screams. one shouts, one does varieties of things, one beats. Afterwards, becomes sad for one's action. Even when one doesn't regret for the action, there is a sadness descending from nowhere. In fact, that is the pain which is the cause for anger. So if you understand this anger is not a bad thing, is not a good thing, it is another manifestation of Ishvara's order, the psychological order. Once I say there is connection between a prior condition and obtaining condition, then you understand the glory of Ishvara. This is how Ishvara is manifest. In this, when I recognize this, I am not giving a sanction to victimize somebody when you are angry. In fact, you cannot victimize anybody because you have a legitimate emotion. Your emotion is legitimate. You cannot be otherwise. There is nothing wrong to be angry, nothing wrong to be hateful, nothing wrong to be jealous. Watch my words. I say there is nothing wrong to be jealous, nothing wrong to be hateful, nothing wrong to be angry. No Swami will say this. I say this because it is all Ishvara. But everything is wrong to victimize somebody. Even your child you have no right to victimize. Nobody has to be victimized. Everybody has a certain right, human right, and human dignity. I cannot victimize somebody because I have a legitimate anger, legitimate jealousy. That is again Ishvara. That I don't cause hurt anybody because there is dharma which is Ishvara ahimsa. The value of ahimsa is paramo dharma. It is sitting there. That is also Ishvara. Therefore, I can't hurt anybody. Nor I can hurt myself. That is also himsa. To hurt myself is another himsa, atma himsa. I don't need to. But one thing, I have to follow the dharma of this particular order. How do you handle this order? An insight is necessary, is inevitable. In our culture, spiritual culture, we have two words, significant words. One, damaha, the other, shamaha. These two words are the most significant in understanding my emotion. I need to understand these two words. Damaha is a self-discipline. Bahyendriya nigraha. They will say control of senses. It's all silly. I don't let my anger victimize anybody. How do you do? This is where the word nigraha is to be understood. How do you handle it? Merely saying that control your anger is wrong. Don't control anger. But if I don't control anger, I will victimize somebody who is the nimitta for this anger, who pressed the button. Therefore, what is it you are going to say? Well, this is the most important thing, that you tell the person, I'm angry now, I will talk to you later. It takes a lot to say that. It takes a lot of grace of Ishvara to say that. Therefore, my prayer should be directed towards this grace. Oh Lord, give me that strength, that power, that space, that awareness to say that. Don't say, I want to be free from anger. Never ask for that. Because that is Ishvara. Let there be anger. But then let me have the space to say that I am angry now. I will talk to you later. Empower the people in the family. Tell the children, in this house, nobody is going to be victimized by anger. Only one emotion. Don't say anger, hatred, jealousy and all that. Never say that. Never works. Only one emotion. Every other emotion will come naturally under that. Nobody in this house, nobody is going to be victimized by anybody's anger. I will say, you tell the children, tell your spouse, tell your siblings, in this house, nobody is going to suffer from anybody's anger. When I am angry, I will tell you, I will talk to you later. I am angry now. If I can't tell you because of anger itself, which doesn't let me have that space, you are empowered to tell me that I am angry. So once you tell the child, asking the child to remind you that you are angry, why not? Dad, we will talk later. No child is going to miss an opportunity like that. The child will definitely tell you, Dad, you are angry now. In fact, the child will tell you, Dad, you are going to get angry now. The child knows. Therefore, let us talk it out later. Spouse will tell you. Everybody becomes a support system. This home is not dysfunctional. It is functional. This is the home. In this home, the children will grow honestly. There is no eggshell walking. What will father say? Father is coming, dad is coming, dad is coming. As though some tiger is coming. What a life. What a home. Very success as father. Everybody is afraid that you are coming home. Except the dog. Nobody is seen there. Even dog is afraid of you. It also keeps the tail between the legs and runs. What a life, I say. What a life. And therefore, empower every member in the house. And then you don't express your anger. Wonderful. But anger has to be expressed appropriately. You talk to every psychologist. Anger has to be expressed appropriately. Otherwise, smoke will come out of your ears. You will blow your top. You becoming a simmering volcano. Anytime you will burst. And therefore, what you have to do? You must have Shama. See the words, see our culture, enjoy our culture. Be true to your culture. Be grateful to the Lord that you are born to inherit this culture. Be grateful. There is nothing to be proud of. You happen to be born here. Therefore, be grateful. There is a word Shamaha. Shama is to resolve the anger. How? Appropriately. Scream right under the sky, standing in an open park. Scream. Who says you should not? Beat a wet towel on the floor. Beat. Punch a pillow or a punching bag. Write it out, all your anger. Use the language that you can very well use. You are quite at home with. You write everything. All those words that you would never say otherwise. Write and don't show it to the person. Destroy that. Write the anger out. Shamaha. This is how you deal with an emotion. If you deal with anger, you will deal with every other emotion. We will again talk to you later. Thank you.
Guru Seva